these 3 hours of NEET exams, I cannot predict your all kind of qualifications or your complete knowledge. That 3 hours of NEET exam is a deciding factor basically in India. But you think just like a student is in a average conditions, he has did very good hard work, but during the examination period or before that night or before 1 week something happened, he is not qualifying into the particular exam. And we started deciding that yes, he is not capable of becoming a doctor. Is it true? No. So like those students has the capability to become a good doctor, we should give an option. Consider you are not coming under the merit list, don't worry. We have a very good options from the abroad universities. Those are actually welcoming Indian students.
Hi, my name is Aaron Thinker, host of Aaron Thinker Show, and welcome back to the Aaron Thinker Show, Talks That Matter. I'm Akshay Nagarkar, socially aka Aaron Thinker. I'm son to a lovely couple, brother to a smarty pants, and man to my Wonder Woman. I'm a trekker, traveler, growth hacker, voice modulator turned into a serial entrepreneur. Today, we are going to talk to Mr. Kshatradhari Mandal, and we'll understand from the managing director of ITCS that what are the careers that we can pursue in MBBS going abroad. I will hand over the mic and welcome to Mr. Kshatradhari Mandal. Hi, Mr. Mandal. How are you?
Hello, sir. Very good morning. Like it's a pandemic time for across the globe, and in this particular duration, thinking about education is a challenge for everybody. But yes, when we talk about pursuing MBBS from the abroad, we have lots of positive points on this particular things, which I'm going to elaborate. As you know, this pandemic is running from the past 1 year, 1.5 years.
Yes.
And many of our Indian students are thinking that due to this particular pandemic, they are just prolonging their time. But the same thing is not happening across the globe. Education is to complete on a timeline, then there is a value for it. That is one of the very important points basically. Okay. So if you will compare Indian situations and the abroad situations, basically into this study patterns, there is no any stop.
You mean to say that we have hold here, we have stopped from last 1 year, the entire education industry has kind of stopped. There has not been a progress here, but the case is not there outside of India. In abroad, people are still learning. They have completed their first year as MBBS graduates. They have completed their first years and they're moving into second year now. And we are still waiting for the colleges to open and start with the lectures and everything to go on with.
Yes. On the same point, like last year when we saw many of the Indian students and parents was actually getting worries due to this pandemic, and they have not taken admission. But few, those has already planned their mindset, those wants to complete the MBBS within the timeline, they have taken admission. They like abroad universities started their online classes on a regular basis on their defined curriculum, and they did on a very punctual way basically. And after completion of this online studies, once the government of their respective country given the permission for flying, immediately they called all their students. And during these online studies, whatever the theoretical classes they did related to that, whatever the practical part was missing, which they are not able to conduct during this online classes, after reaching the university, like I'm finding, as I personally visited, on their curriculum, practical works was on the top priority, so that what they have studied into their theoretical section, they are matching with the practical works, and it makes very effective basically for the students, and they are not missing anything, and they are completing their MBBS study in a very far better way as compared to the Indian student, those has taken admission into the private colleges or taken admission into the different institutions, but still it's not open due to this pandemic.
Sir, let me ask you one thing. We started talking about this, but how did your interest spike into MBBS altogether? Why MBBS is a good career? Why do you think MBBS is a good career?
Sir, like one point I'll tell. Basically, MBBS profession is a very pioneer profession. First point. And the second point, if you check the Indian parents requirement, if you check the states, you'll find approximately 17 to 18 lakhs students are appearing for the NEET examination. Actually, yes. It's a qualification examination for MBBS. Okay. Out of that, 50 percentile is considered as a qualified students. Means you consider if 18 lakhs is appeared, out of that 9 lakhs is qualified. So they are eligible to do the MBBS. Now, when I start checking Indian seats availability, government colleges 35 to 40,000 seats we have. Private colleges inclusive of deemed university, we have another 30,000 seats we have. So all together 70 to 75,000 seats we have. But if you check the interested student, it is above 9 lakhs. Then we started thinking how we can provide the solution for this particular requirement to the Indian students and parents. And we started exploring the MBBS education from the abroad. Basically, I'll say one point, this is not the new things which I'm doing. From the 1970s onward, Indian students used to go abroad for study MBBS.
From 1970, Indian students started going to abroad for their further education, for completing their education from 1970. Wow, I think a lot of people might not have known this.
Yes. And
so you mean to say that there was a lot of demand in India for learning MBBS and the supply was less. There were less colleges. We were not capable of handling all those students who want to learn, and hence you thought about creating a pathway wherein these students can go out of India to learn MBBS, because MBBS is what they want to learn. They do not want to learn MBBS from India. They want to follow their passion, and you are giving them a path to go there.
Yeah, we are providing a pathway so that they can complete the study in the defined budget. That is very important. See, like many colleges of India has still seats available. They are not getting the student. The reason behind is that the fee structures. If you talk about the private colleges and the deemed university, their fee minimum starts from 7 to 8 lakhs rupees per year. 5 years of program, so 8 into 5, it is 40 lakhs. Then apart from that, there is a accommodation cost, food cost, accessories, examination fees, all inclusive 45 to 50 lakhs is needed from the private colleges. And if they are going for a deemed university, the fee starts from 16 lakhs per annum. So 16 into 5, it's 80 lakh. Again, another accommodation and food, if you count, 2 lakhs per annum, although it will come nearby 1 crore.
So if a student in India wants to become a doctor, they need to have a financial backing of 50 lakhs to 1 crore in their pocket. Only then they can dream of going for this career. Otherwise, they'll be inside a debt.
If they are not coming into the merit list of the government seat.
Oh, and the success ratio there is very less.
Very, very less, because merit list, to come under the merit list, student has to score out of like 720 marks, minimum 550 minimum. Then there's a possibility they can come into the merit list. Again, it depends on which state he belongs. Like Karnataka has the maximum seats. In Karnataka, like those students are able to get 550 and onwards. They have very high chance they will get a government seat.
Yes.
Other state, if I talk like Bihar, Jharkhand, their 620, 30 is also not sufficient to get the merit lists. You need to score above 650, then there's a possibility you will get a government seats in the good reputed university. So by seeing this kind of all demands, we started exploring like how we can provide the world-class university to the students, how we can provide like in an economic way the complete education. And then we started exploring, and today I'm happily can say working with more than 100 plus universities in more than 20 plus countries. We have very good options under the like elite universities of the Europe. We have very good options under the English speaking countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, Canada, USA. But again, the cost also varies accordingly. And we are also providing the economic solutions in universities of like Russia, Ukraine, then we have China, Bangladesh, Nepal, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus. So many countries with which actually we are dealing and providing the solutions for the students.
Tell me, sir, one very important thing, that why studying abroad is better than studying in India?
See, I'll tell you, for the meritorious students, basically I suggest you stay in your country only. But yes, by checking these 3 hours of NEET exams, I cannot predict your all kind of qualifications or your complete knowledge. That 3 hours of NEET exam is a deciding factor basically in India. But you think just like a student is in a average conditions, he has did very good hard work, but during the examination period or before that night or before 1 week, something happened. He is not qualifying into that particular exam. And we started deciding that yes, he is not capable of becoming a doctor. Is it true? No. So like those students has the capability to become a good doctor. We should give an option. Consider you are not coming under the merit list, don't worry. We have a very good options from the abroad universities. Those are actually welcoming Indian students. So from there we can provide. That's first option. The second option, studying abroad has the major benefit. You no need to pay any kind of donation. Everywhere the admission is based on the predefined criteria. Consider they have defined a criteria. You should have 60% marks. You should have NEET qualification. You should have physics, chemistry, biology in your 12th. They will accept your application. They have entrance exam of the university. You should qualify that one. 100% they are going to accept. There's no problem. There's no donation concept. Third point, basically international universities with which actually we are dealing, they are very good in terms of quality standard web ranking, that is world ranking. They are very good in terms of THE world ranking. Like just take an example, if I'm talking about the Bangalore Best Medical College, like Bangalore Medical College, its world rank according to the Webometrics website is 13,300. 13,300. And the university, yes, and the university which we are suggesting for our students, like one university name is called Kazan Federal University. It is in Russia. Its world rank is 370. So you can understand the difference. And this world rank, I'm not deciding. There is a proper agency available for that. They have a criteria to check how many PhD holders are there, on the particular university? How is the infrastructure? How is the lab facility? How is the international students care facility? By considering many factors, they are deciding the world rank. So we are giving options to the Indian students to study in a world ranked university.
Wow.
Third point, whenever we are talking about study abroad, budget wise, it's very friendly for the Indian middle class family. So it is very effective points basically. Those are keeping a dream, but due to the financial conditions, they are not able to fulfill. I can give you one example, sir. I have admitted few students from the Karnataka. Their parents are actually a farmer. They cannot think to make a doctor by putting into the private colleges or deemed University of India. But somehow they can manage 15 to 20 lakh rupees. And they can think, yes, in future generation, from their home also, after the farmer, doctors will also come. So that kind of pathway basically we are making by giving this particular supports.
So here we Here we discussed currently 4 points. If I just can do a recap. Number one, we discussed that the students who are judged based on the NEET exam, those are not judged on the NEET exam outside. So that is number one benefit, that students are not being judged only because of 3 hours of exam that they are giving. Number two, there are no donations outside, and that is a very powerful message. There are no donations, there are no extra fees and charges which are being taken. Number three, why you should study abroad rather than studying in India is better ranking of universities. There's a ranking difference of 10,000 ranks in between what you are recommending and what students can get here in India right now with. And number four, that it is pocket friendly. Instead of investing 60 lakh rupees to a crore rupees, you are asking and convincing students and the universities to aggregate together for only 15 to 20 lakh rupees. And that is a manageable amount for any household or a family to build a doctor.
Yes. Apart from that, like those universities which we are suggesting, they are very disciplined university. It's not like they have so many of leaves. They have predefined hours for each study. Just take one example. There's a very important subject called human anatomy. Those are the top world-class ranked university. They are providing the classes for that subject up to 480 to 500 hours. But in Indian curriculum, if you'll check, hardly they are teaching 200 to 300 hours. So here what? You have to student has to study more. They will give just a topic name and you have to study more. But their teachers used to provide the complete training on each topic so that student can learn bit faster and bit more appropriate way. Yes, one thing we can say, the abroad studies has more practical works because their pattern of study is mostly into the more practical aspects. In India, we have more theoretical aspects. So Indian doctors are very good in theory, very good in the theoretical exams. They will do very excellent. But when it comes into the practical aspects, it is bit low because they have not seen that kind of machines. They have not seen that kind of equipments, not seen that kind of tools. That kind of facilities are not available in all universities of the India.
So I would like to summarize the fifth point. The fifth point is better tools to practice on, detailed descriptive syllabus to focus on, and detailed training on those. Perfect. Wow. Sir, you said a lot of things about universities, that how you can go to outside universities. You named 20 countries and 100 universities. Now, this could get a lot of confusing for students and their parents. Yes, I want to put my child through different university, but how should I select a university? That is main viewpoint of parents. How would you like to address to that?
I'll summarize this particular point in by mentioning the 5 different sections, how to select the universities.
Okay.
Whenever we start thinking for study abroad, the first point always we have to check the university should register. It should under the Medical Council of India or National Medical Council of
Okay.
Like that degree should valid in India. That is the first point we should check.
I will be putting up a link to description. I will be, for my viewers, I will be putting up a link on description that this is the website that they should check through. And I'll put a step-by-step procedure downstairs. Perfect.
Second point, as you know, medical education, medical regulations, everything is basically regulated by WHO, World Health Organization. Okay. So that particular university degree should also be accepted by the WHO. Otherwise, you have completed your study, and if the university name is not listed under the WHO, you cannot do practice anywhere except on the particular country. So always we should be very specific on the approval, or we can say on the accreditation of the particular university. The first point always we need to check accreditations of the university. So how we have to check the accreditation? First, for the Indian student, we have to see MCI or NMC accreditation. Second, WHO accreditation. And the third, the university should registered or should be under the accreditation of the particular country. Like if I am going for Russia, so the particular university should registered under the Russian government. These 3 points first we need to check before finalizing the university. This is the first point. That is called accreditation checking. Second point, we have to check university world rank. We should not take admission anywhere those universities world rank is above 10,000. It's my personal suggestion and the experience. Still many people is not aware how to check the world rank. I'll give the link through that which you can display.
Yes.
There they have to just put the name of the university, automatically world rank will come. You can check all Indian university also over there. And based on that, you can do a comparison where you are going for the study. Correct. So see, personally, many of the parents and students has not seen the university. We are going to believe based on the particular state's data. Correct. So that is the second point we have to check the world rank. Third point, we should check, go for the university where they are teaching completely in English medium. We should not compromise with the local language of study. Because see, even though you can become a doctor, you can get a degree from the particular college by studying the local language. But when you return back to India, the terminology what they have used in the medicine, you cannot identify what I have to use here. And it will be very tough. Basically. Okay. So the third point, English medium of study. Fourth point, being a foreigner, when you're going for abroad, we should always select a university which basically provides the residential facility. We should not go anywhere. Those are not providing the residential facility. Means on that particular case, you have to stay outside the university campus. Cost will be high. There will be no safety and security. University will not take any responsibility also. So always we should select a university which basically provides the complete residential facility. And moreover, I'll say, before going for any university, always speak with some of the seniors. Those are already studying. And ITCS will help to everybody. Before selecting the university, you speak once, check in a video calls. What's the feedback, review of the university from? Don't only go on the data. You also can see with the support of some seniors, some of the parents, those already visited to the particular place. Basically, being a managing director of this company, I used to personally review all the university where I am sending the student. Every year, myself traveling to the places and speaking with the respective departments, trying to understand what the new things has implemented for this year, what new changes is done. And based on that, I used to update everything for my students, and accordingly, we are selecting the university and suggesting for the student.
The personal attention is important. I understand that.
Yes.
So to summarize this into, you have said the 5 points, and I will be giving a step-by-step procedure in the description on how to select a university, right from accreditations to accommodation. Everything is important, and you have beautifully described it into our 5 points.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Discussing about this, you mentioned few things that what is to be done. Now, let's say that yes, we have selected a university, everything is going good. Now, what to do and what not to do after you select a university, after you get an admission?
See, like first point, when we are selecting the university, as I described, all such points always we should keep in our mind. Second, we should understand the requirement of the country. Country to country education system is a bit different. It is not like the same in like India everywhere. If you take an example, if anybody wants to go for a study for Ukraine, in a Ukraine, after the third year, they have to write an exam. It's called CROC exam. If you are not qualifying on the particular exam, you will not be promoted for the next year. You will remain into the third year only, and you will get a one-two chance to write the exam. Same way, if you are going for a Russia, consider during this your every year yearly exam, you will get a 3 attempts to clear all the subjects. If you not clear the exam, university will make you disqualified. You cannot study on the particular university. So my major meaning for saying this all point is that you should know all the terms and conditions of the country before going for the particular study.
So that you should do after, and what you should do after getting an admission or before getting an admission.
It's this all before taking admission itself. You should know this all point. Without knowing, you don't take blindly admissions. That is the first point. Okay. Second point, you should know also each universities where you are going. Basically, where the particular university is situated, in which city it is situated, how far is from the capital city, how after reaching to the particular university, consider some emergency situations come, where is the embassy. So about the geographical part of the university, you should also know before reaching to the place. You should not always be dependent on the particular education counselor or particular company only in this particular one. Anyway, being a ITCS, we support on every points. We suggest, we show everything by default from our side. But yes, if you are going through any other company and all, you should do exercise in this point also. Very important. Third point. Yeah.
Please continue.
Third point, the financial part should be very, very clear and transparent. Because when we talk about the universities, abroad universities, many people used to misguide basically. They will charge you in $1, but they are paying in terms of rubles. They are paying in terms of their local currency, and they will charge you in $. So you should understand what is the exact tuition fee of the university. What is the exact hostel charges of the university? What is the exact medical insurance, visa extension, then after other expenses related to the university. It should be very clear from the day one. And the personal suggestion from my side, when you are getting an admission from any university, you will also get an email ID of the university. Take that admission letter, write your all the query on the particular email by attaching your admission letter. Most of the university will respond you with the proper information, and then you proceed further. So that you will not be in any dark, and no one can cheat you basically. So you should know these all points before going to the university. Now, after reaching to the place, as you know, foreign land has lots of things available which may deviate you from the study site.
Yes.
Many things are available. There's no restrictions. There's no your parents. Nobody is there to check you on everyday basis. Whatever you want, you can do. But being a education consultant on this particular department, I suggest your focus should be only on MBBS study. If you started deviating yourself, you started making your engagement into other activity apart from the study, 100% someday you are going to caught into this, and you cannot complete your medical degree and you have to return back without finishing off your study. So you should not do like that. You should always be very focused into your study.
Sir, what are the real pains in this career when the student is abroad, studying abroad? We just discussed about their behavior, that they can easily deviate. But what are the real pains there? What are the problems which happen?
I'll tell you one point about the pain. If you are talking, basically initial days settlement is very tough. We are consider like you are in a Maharashtra. There the average temperature is 35 to 40 degrees. Correct? I'm in a Bangalore. Average temperature is 20 to 30 degrees. Average temperature.
Right.
But when they will reach Europe, they have a seasons and they will get a temperature of minus 10 degree, minus 15 degree. Getting my points? So first of all, adjusting your body into the particular climatical condition will take time. It is not so easy and immediately it won't happen. And you immediately don't started behaving, oh, I cannot suitable here, I cannot suit here. Don't think like that. There is lots of accessories available, clothes available, which you can use and you can get settled into that kind of weather condition very easy. But yes, it will take time. So first pain for many students and parents, settlement in a weather condition. Second point is the language. Most of the students are going to study basically into non-English speaking country, because English speaking country cost is very high. Only we have 5 English speaking country: Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK and USA. Here minimum study cost is above 1.5 crore. So very few students are going to this country basically. Maximum student is traveling for Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, China. These all are the non-English speaking country. So you will definitely going to face a problem on your communication. So what our suggestion into that, once you have confirmed yourself, you want to go for a study MBBS in Russia, in YouTube there's many free channels are available. You start learning so that minimum required communication which you can do after reaching to the place. So language building work you have to start very early stage, so that easily you can cope up in the particular industry. Third major points, like basically Indian students are facing, that is a food problem. See, if you are going for abroad, mentally you have to fit that you have to cook your food and you have to eat. If you don't know cooking, you are completely dependent on the outside food, then whatever you are getting, that only you have to eat. In all countries you won't get the Indian mess facility, but yes, those universities we are suggesting basically. We at every places mostly there's an Indian food facility available, there's an Indian mess available.
That's nice.
Because as we know this is a pain for the student, so we have tried to overcome with this all, and we started keeping this into our account, and we are providing the facility in most of the places. But yes, if you are thinking to go for a Poland and you will expect sir, Mandal sir will provide the Indian mess, I cannot provide it, because very few students are going. But if you are expecting to go for a university where number of Indian students is more than 50, 60, yes, you will get this Indian mess facility. Okay. So these are the some challenges or pains we can say in initial days student used to face. and the study system is completely in English medium, and the pronunciation of the particular countries is different.
The accent is different.
So this is also a challenge. Many of them is not able to understand what the teacher has told during the classes. But yes, if you are very sincere, you are putting your effort to learn, you can get it. That's not a big deal. But your effort should be 101%. It's not like just for namesake you are putting effort.
Maybe they should actually put it. So number one is weather conditions. Number two is food. Food is important, that they will have to cook their own food and they'll have to settle in the weather. Number three is accent. They'll need to build an understanding for the accent. And number four is language barrier. That there will be a language barrier amongst them, and they'll need to habitate themselves for that languages. So these are four challenges that students who want to study abroad may face in this. Now, sir, let's discuss about some myths. We always in this show, there is this section called myth busting, where we understand that what is the common understanding in the parents and the students, which is a myth, which is not real, but they still have this belief that somebody has said that this will happen, or you will get a good job, or you will never get a good job when you go outside, or something. 3 myths that you can tell about this.
I'll tell you, when we talk about the myths, many of the parents has a myth that in abroad they will not get a very good practical facilities because the population is very low. Many of the parents thinks that in abroad for the practical work they used to provide only the robotics body, not the real cadaver, that is dead bodies for the practical work. Many of the parents thinks, that as the weather condition is different for the particular country, so the medicine what they are learning on the country, which is not actually need in our country. Many of the parents also thinks the what we call, especially in terms of teaching part, that in abroad students are reaching and they are getting a degree without any problems and all. These all are the myths basically.
So number one myth that we discussed was that the students might not get facility to practice their medicine.
Yes,
which is
I'll
a
explain
myth.
in this particular point. Most of the university, those are approved by WHO. Those are approved by the particular local country. Without providing the cadaver, they cannot open the basically medical institute. Cadaver is one mandatory things, and in foreign countries basically from the second year onwards itself they are providing for the students to work into that, to learn the parts of the body, to do all the practical aspects. I personally visited universities like Kazan Federal University, Petro-Zavadsk, Baskir State Medical Universities. I have seen, I can show you picture footage for everything, for all these things. If anybody is interested, want to see. All such facilities are available there, okay? And you'll get a very good exposure. The best part in abroad, basically in a practical batch, there's only 7 numbers. 7 students will do practical in a one batch. But in India, for whole 60 student is watching, only one body actually over there. So what you are going to understand into this? In my understanding into that, abroad practical work is much better as compared to the like here study systems and all. The second point which I discussed about the medicines, what they prescribed over. See, as you know, medicine learning is always according to the popular disease of the particular place. If you are going for abroad countries, basically Europe, you'll find more dermatologists. Skin related problem is more. You'll find more dentistry, like dental related problem is more. The reason is what? on the particular country, due to cold weather, this kind of issues are coming. So they are more expert into that particular medicine and that particular department. Why we are comparing that things in India? Once your child will become ready, once he'll become a doctor, after coming to the India, he has to complete 1 year of practical work in India. He has to complete 1 year of practical internship in India. After that, only government of India is providing a license to do the practice. So during that period, they can learn this remaining things here also. So it's a complete myth that abroad students cannot do the practical work, they don't know. And I'll add one more point over here. Study in abroad basically provides all 360-degree round of knowledge. They teach computer skills also. They teach dressing skills, patient care, everything, not only the surgery or medicine subjects. They makes you perfect in all 360-degree. But in India, they are focusing only on their subjects. Here, many doctors are not able to run the, what we can say, new softwares, new tools, because they have not been taught in this particular way. They always here to run the tools. They have an assistant in India, but there in abroad, everything is done by one person only. So we can understand these are the things.
Practical exposure is more there. Practical exposure is more real. Practical exposure is what they can actually need to do. Wow. Thank you for busting these 4 myths together, sir. Now, if I would ask you to conclude and give us one line that why this career is important and why this career is important in studying abroad, what would you say? And remember, parents are watching and students are also watching. 12th standard students are watching this and parents are also watching this. What would you like to say to them?
I'll say only one point. Basically, doctor profession is a very pioneer profession, and it is not just only a earning source. It's a social work.
Yes.
And when we are moving in this kind of pandemic situations, we can understand how is the importance of the doctor's profession basically. So my view will be that if you have seen a dream to become a doctor, don't stop yourself that you have not cleared the NEET exam. You not came into the merit list. If your heart is saying that you can become a good doctor, there is a lots of ways available. If your heart is saying that yes, I can do the social work, there's a lots of way available, lots of universities actually welcoming you. You have to just think on the particular perspective. There will be no barrier of your financial, there will be no barrier of your NEET merit list, there will be no barrier of any communication. Your willingness should be very perfect. We will show you how we can provide and how you can guide you throughout your career. And we can help you to fulfill your dream. We are just a pathway in between where we can suggest you, but ultimately all the work student only has to do. Parents can pay money only, but finally student has to study, and we can show the path.
This was Mr. Chatradhari Mandal, Managing Director of ITCS, experience of 14 years of his career dedicated to this field and 9 years of core experience into sending students out and making sure that their careers are successful, their careers are built and their career. He personally goes into every medical college here in university, understands that whether this university is good for their students or not, and then he recommends one. I will share a link below in the description to book a consultation call with him, direct one-to-one. Any parent across India, whoever wants their child to think that whether they should go for MBBS, whether they have any sorts of doubts, this is the man that you need to talk to. Thank you so much, Mr. Mandal, on joining us.
Thank you, sir, for coming into your show. Definitely, whatever the best possible help from my side, I'll provide. And all the free counselings we are providing free of cost. There's no any charges. You can call and you can check with us. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And this was Aaron Thinker Show, Talks That Matter. And as I always say, wake up stronger.